All right, blessings everybody. Soldier Steve here, and this is the third session in the E.D.C series. And if you haven't seen the first or second video, then by all means go back and watch the whole thing. I'm going to do a quick recap just for those that didn't see it to get caught up. E.D.C is what's called everyday carry. Sometimes it's a military term. Civilians have adopted it also. But this is basically the stuff that you carry with you wherever you go, at all times. So anytime you leave the house, this is the stuff that you have with you. All right. So I broke this into two tiers of preparedness. Stuff that everybody should, that in my opinion, everybody should carry because everybody's needs are different. So the list will vary from person to person. And then tier 2 is stuff that would be more specific to the individual, because not everybody's going to use the same stuff. But this is just, many people have seen my level of preparedness and asked me to do videos like this. So this is why I'm doing this series. And if you're wondering why this how this connects with the Bible, again, discipleship is not just teaching about godliness, but the scripture says that we have all things concerning life and godliness, which means everyday life. All right. So the Bible also speaks about wisdom and talks about how we're supposed to be wise with the wisdom of the world and to know the stuff that the world knows, and we have to take what works and apply it for the kingdom and use it for the kingdom. All right. So the first tier is a flashlight, a knife, a bottle of water, and by knife I mean like a pocket knife, something smaller, not necessarily a machete. Okay. So a flashlight, a knife, a bottle of water, a battery pack to charge your phones or other devices, a charging cable so that you can connect it to the wall and still use your device, at least 2 pens, some paper to write stuff on, spare keys in case you lock your original set in the house, some tissues, an emergency contact card next to your ID that has the name of emergency contacts and also any allergies you might have. Emergency cash, a minimum of $20. You could go 50, you can go 100, you could do more as you want, but I suggest at least a minimum of 20. If you take any kind of medication, to have at least 1 day's worth of medication, just in case you run out the house or you get stuck, don't make it home, you have the medication, especially if it's something like heart, diabetes, something serious like that. A watch. And the thing that I forgot to put on the list is a plastic bag, like a regular bag that you get from the store. All right, and I'll go into that in a little bit when I actually go into my layout of how I have my E.D.C set up. All right, tier 2 is a flash drive. So if you have any important documents on your laptop or your desktop, you have a copy with you wherever you go, so that one, if the computer crashes, you still have a backup, and 2, you can access your files from anywhere that there's a computer. You can go to Staples or Starbucks or wherever they have a computer. All right, a first aid kit, including Band-Aids, Advil for headaches or any kind of pain, Pepto-Bismol tablets, like the chewable ones for any kind of stomach issues, allergy pills, tweezers, a small pair of scissors, hand sanitizer, I said allergy pill, itch cream, all right, for mosquitoes or like poison ivy or whatever it may be, a shoelace, which is used for a lot of different things. It could be a sling, it could be a tourniquet, it could be used for many different purposes. A lighter, like a cigarette lighter. I prefer a torch lighter, but you could use a regular one. Nitrite gloves, or anything that will keep your hands clean from the possible infections if you're touching something dirty. And in mine, I have a rehydration mix, especially in the summertime. So if it's really hot outside, a rehydration mixes with a bottle of water, and it will help you to replenish the nutrients that you lost in the heat. I also have on here a multi-tool, which has like the pliers, a screwdriver, a little knife on there, and some other stuff depending on which multi-tool you have. A sewing kit with a wide-eye needle, so it's easier to thread. I have black thread because that's just universal. It works best with most types of clothing. Safety pins, because sometimes a button might pop off, you just need to close it up or something. And non-perishable protein. I have protein bars in my bag, as well as I like to carry trail mix. I have to make some more so I can keep it in there. All right, so that's the 2 tiers that I have of the E.D.C. But now again, I just want to show you the layout that I have on my bag. So just so you can get ideas. If somebody wants, you can drop it in the comments where you can get the exact bag that I have, or if you like the Molly pouches that I have, which I'll show you, then I can put the link in the comments if somebody's interested. But you can set this up however you want. This is just an idea of how I do it. You can get your own ideas, apply it as you want. Maybe you want to do something a little different. That's up to you. Okay, so I have my bag set up, and this is my everyday bag. All right, so I have my first aid kit, the couple pockets. As you see, it has the Molly system there. All right, and then there is another Molly pouch at the top of that bag. I have things set up for order of access, meaning what is it that I might, if I'm going to need something, what would I need to access, and how quickly would I need to access it? So the first thing I do is I have over here, again, I'm a very militant-minded person, hence Soldier Steve, but so my setup is kind of like a military layout. But here I have a little pouch that connects to the connected to the strap. Okay, the Walgreens allergy inhaler, especially when it like pollen outside and it gets really hot. Okay, so this is if allergies start acting up, all right, this is very easy access. So if it starts affecting my breathing, I can get to it with absolutely no problems whatsoever. The other thing I have right here, easy access, is a small flashlight. Okay, because if the power goes out, that's the ironic thing, in my opinion, about flashlights, is when you need it, you can't find it because it's dark out. Especially a lot of flashlights are black, okay, especially tactical ones, all right? But yeah, mine has a light, not just a light, but it narrows down into a more focused beam. I don't know if you can tell that on the video, okay, but it also has a glass breaker. So in case of emergency, this is right here. I have my glass breaker and I could just get out of wherever it is that I was stuck. Okay, so again, these are things that are immediate access. If I don't even have to take my pack off in order to get to it. Putting it back together is a little bit more tricky, but that's okay. Okay, so then on the outside, again, first aid kit. I have my patch here because I like to represent what I represent. All right, but this is, I went over the first aid kit, everything that's in here. I did it on the second video, so go back and watch that to get the whole thing. But just as a quick thing, is right on the outside is 2 things of energy, C4 Energy. That's the one I prefer. Get whichever brand you prefer. I'm not advertising any brands. All right, and then I have the hydration powder. All right, again, right on the outside, because if there's a situation that you need the energy or to being affected by the heat, I want to get to that immediately. Then this pouch has 2 pockets. All right, you can see here, it's got the 2 things. All right, so on the outside one is the hand sanitizer, the Halls, the Band-Aids. I also have the Advil allergy pills and the Pepto. And towards the back is the other stuff, the gloves, the ace bandage, the shoelace, the lighter, the tweezers, like all that other stuff. Okay. Under here, see, most bags have a drink pocket. All right, here's where I have my bottle of water, right next to the hydration powder and the energy mix. So again, I don't have to go far. It's right there, right, easily accessible. All right, and then on the other side, I have another Molly pouch. All right, I have rubber bands. I think it's 10 rubber bands on here, just because you never know when a rubber band can come handy for all kinds of things. Then on this, it's the same. This is the same as the first aid kit, but it's black. All right, so I have the pocket here. I have a little multi-tool with the little screwdrivers and stuff. Again, I showed that in the second video. Okay, here is the cable for my charger. All right, easily accessible right here. In the first pocket, all right, I have the actual charger, and I have it set up this way because now I can just push that button, turn the charger on, which, as you see, it's fully charged, and then I can just unravel this. I believe this is a 6-foot cable, and I can have the charger in the bag while charging my phone. So I don't have to have it in my pocket, taking up space. I don't drop it. It's secure in the pouch, and I can walk around charging my phone because the cable is long enough. And then this one is empty because I just basically use that for garbage. Or if I'm sitting somewhere and I have an open energy drink or an open bottle of water or something, I can use that to hold it where it won't spill. A lot of times if you're sitting on the train and you have an open cup or something, you can't really put it down. That helps. Again, I also use that like a little garbage pail until I get off the train. I'm not sitting there holding my garbage, because why? Also, something a personal taste is carabiners. Okay, these are these little clips. All right, for those that don't know what a carabiner is, this has a little connector on it. Okay, but a lot of people use it for the keys. All right, these things come in handy for all sorts of stuff. To either like attach, if I have a bunch of packages, I can attach it to the bag. If I have a tripod, a lot of times that instead of carrying it, I'll loop it through a carabiner, connect it to the bag, and now it's just on my pack, and I don't have I have my hands free. There's a lot of uses for those, but I have them all over the bag. You'll notice. I have smaller ones here also, so I can pull this down, and now I can attach packages like this, and I'll reset that later. This is an outside pocket. So as you see, this is not the main pocket, but what I have here, which is easy access stuff, is I have in the brown package is ginger chews, because not only do they taste good, but they're also good to help the stomach and not using up the Pepto tabs. And then I have in this, the blue one is Lifesaver mints. Just like something if I just want like a taste, but I'm not trying to drink a lot. Is a tip I learned in the Boy Scouts is if you have something that like a candy of some kind, then you're thirsty, you take the candy and the saliva will quench the thirst without having you drink a lot of water that you have to go to the bathroom. So if you're going to be on the train for a while, or you're in a long, you're going to be driving for like an hour or 2 hours plus, you don't have to go and run to the bathroom every time because you drank a lot of fluids. So that I keep right here because it's easy access. Right? And then in the other outside pocket, again, another carabiner. A tip that I like to do, especially when riding the train, all right? One, I have on the zippers, I take the string off and I use good keychains, key rings, because they make a good solid pull, and it's also with this carabiner, now I can connect that in, and now nobody can get into this pocket. Not like there's really anything in there anyway, but it deters thieves, all right? So in this the bigger outside pocket, as you see, I have a bunch of pens because people always take my pens and steal them. So I carry extras. But I also have a tactical pen. All right, so this is a regular pen. It functions as a regular pen, but it also has a glass breaker at the end. Again, I believe in redundancy, so if the flashlight, or if I wind up somebody else is using the flashlight, I still have another glass breaker. Or if somebody needs it, they can just take it right off the bag without me having to take my pack off. All right, and it's also a good defensive instrument. But it's a tool, not a weapon. Okay, so just to clarify that for those that think in that line. Then in this pocket I have my Bible, right? Because what more do you want easy access to but than the Word of God? All right, so I have my Bible in this pocket, and as you see, I have my highlighters here. Okay, I have another pen. I have a Sharpie. I have a custom keychain. The picture of me and my brother. So if anybody wants custom keychains, you can let me know. I know I have somebody that makes them for me. All right, so that is the outside. Then we get to the inside where most of the stuff is. All right, this backpack also has a laptop pocket in the back. All right, so here I have a folder where I have my spiritual warfare stuff. So because the enemy don't sleep, we never know when he's going to try to do whatever. So I'm always prepared. I have my spiritual warfare formula there. And then in this pocket here, I have zip ties. Like nice, good zip ties. So you can see that they're kind of thick. All right, so as a civilian, I'm not legally allowed to carry handcuffs. However, if there is a situation, especially doing security, where I need to make a citizen's arrest, I'm not carrying handcuffs, but there's no law that says I can't have zip ties. Plus, they've come in handy for 100 other things aside from security purposes. I've had to secure a whole lot of different things that came loose or whatever. So that's another thing that I would recommend. I would put that in tier 2 also. But and also this drink pocket, same like where I had the bottle of water on the other side, is I have another C4 ready to go in a little container. Just put a little bit of water in there and just like knock it back real quick. Again, the less fluid I take in, the less fluid I have to let out. So, but if I need like a quick shot of energy, I can just take a little bit of water, although it's contrary to the directions. And then under here, somewhere, there's supposed to be a plastic bag in there. I don't know why it disappeared, but I'll put that back. Plastic bags are a very, very useful thing, and of course, it's not there, so I don't have one at the ready, but it's okay. Plastic bags are good because you can use them to hold stuff, obviously, like they're intended to use. You could, I've seen people use them like a rain hat. If you have something that's wet and you don't want to get it all over the place, if you have garbage, you could use it like a garbage bag. I have also, matter of fact, I think it would be beneficial to you guys to actually see this, so if you'll give me 1 second. Okay, I think that was more like 5 seconds, but who's counting? All right, so it's a regular plastic bag, nothing fancy about it. But one thing that I learned through experience and through out of necessity is how to use this to tie stuff. You just grab the handles, all right, and then like you would normally hold it, pull on the bottom, and then make it straight. Then what you could do is take the end that's now straight, put it through the two handles, right, and then just tighten it down, and now you just like tied something up. Or you could take a bunch of other bags if you went shopping and do this, and then now you have a better handle like this, so you can hold all the bags together. I've used this to repair things, I've used this to attach things, I've used this for several different ways, and now I have a bag to put back where it belongs. Alright, so again, this bag is, each bag has its own different configuration, but I will do my best to show how this is. There is a pocket here in which I have the tissues. I have an extra bandana. Again, bandanas can be used for many things. I've made a sling out of it when my arm was broken. Until the EMTs came, I just had my arm in a sling, tied around my neck. I've used it again to tie stuff up. Bandana could be used to wipe sweat. It could be used for a lot of different purposes. Cover your head from the sun. There's 100 things. Right. Then I also have a little nail clipping kit that somebody gave me, which I thought was good. If I could open it, that would be wonderful. Okay. It's hard to see. I'm trying to reflect the light so you can see the different stuff that's in there. It's a nail clipper, a little pair of scissors, tweezers. It's a little personal grooming kit there. I have extra deodorant, just because, especially in summertime, things get hot, things get sweaty, and, well, deodorant is always a good thing to have when it's hot out. And when sweating a lot, it's also good to not smell like a locker room, so I have a spray bottle. This is, I don't know, this is Dark Star Blue. Somebody gave me this. I like the way it smells, so you take whatever type of fragrance and deodorant you like and use it there. Okay. So that's that pocket. Then there is, I don't know if I could get this down enough to see, but there are two more pockets. You can see the orange here. All right, those are power bars, protein bars. It's got a little crush, but it's okay. 20 grams of protein. I keep 2 of those just in case of emergencies. If I got stuck somewhere, this is not just because to eat if I'm hungry. This is to eat if I'm stuck somewhere. One time I was on the highway and I got stuck for a couple hours, and so without a way to get to food, then I had a power bar. So that's fine. I have hearing protection in here, just because if there's a loud situation, my hearing is. I don't like loud noises, so loud environments. I make sure I have my hearing protection, which also is a Bluetooth. So, but that's rated for a firing range, so it will definitely protect from sound. Then in this back pocket here, I have a clipboard, all right, where obviously that's more pen and paper if I need to write something. The enemy's always on the lookout for something. Like the Bible says that the enemy is like a roaming lion seeking whom he may devour. So if he's seeking, I'm going to make sure that I'm not the one he can devour. So I have Apostle Eckhart, if you never heard of him, powerful man of God. He's got hundreds of books. I'm actually reading another book of his on deliverance and spiritual warfare. But this book I highly recommend. It's helped me out a lot. It's prayers that rout demons and break curses. So it is a bit thick, but the print is not too bad. So a lot of good stuff in here that's helped on many occasions. I always keep that with me. And I always, again, this is a Steve thing, is I also keep anointing oil in like a protective case. This is not what it's made for, but it's padded so it'll keep the bottle from breaking. Because again, I never know what I'm going to encounter, so I'm ready for all things. All right, so this would be like tier 3 type of stuff is, like the anointing oil, the prayer book. But in here, trying to get you a better view. In the top half here, all right, I have glasses in case I got to drive at night. There's a couple of times I wound up having to drive because somebody couldn't. I had to drive their car. So I made sure that I'm ready for that. Here is a secondary charger. Again, this plugs into the wall, and then it has the Type-C and iPhone. So I can charge my phone while this is charging, which is helpful. And then I have in another plastic bag is another tank top and an extra pair of socks and underwear. I'm obviously not going to be removing these from the plastic. There's no need for that. But the point is that sometimes stuff happens. If it's hot out and you get where you're going and you're all sweated up, or sometimes like you get caught in the rain and you're soaked and you want to change into dry clothes. Well, it's not a complete change of clothes, but it's something where I can be comfortable. And then if I take the wet shirt off, I put it in the plastic bag so it doesn't get everything else wet. All right? Again, plastic bags are really useful stuff. And that's why I have them in separate bags, because you never know what happens. And then lastly, I have this other Molly pouch, which is a little different from the other ones. This is black, so it's a little hard to see. But in here, in this front pouch, this is almost like the book bag. Right? I have a tape measure, because you never know when I'll wind up measuring stuff, especially doing handyman stuff for a church. I've needed a tape measure on many, many occasions. So this is a it's tiny, it fits in the palm of my hand, but it's a 6-foot tape measure. All right. Then toothbrush. I've gotten stuck places and not knowing when I'm going to be getting back home. Okay, I've been stuck places overnight, so I have a toothbrush. Listen, it's not a whole toiletry kit, but a toothbrush and a Listerine pack mixed with a little bit of water, it works. Okay, it's not perfect, it's not ideal, but it works to freshen, to clean your mouth out. Okay, electrical tape, right? Because again, that is something that comes in handy for so many different things, especially to fix stuff on a quick repair until you can get the actual thing. Again, on this top little pouch, I have my spare set of keys. All right, because I have on a few occasions left the house without my keys and then realized, like, oh man, like, now how am I gonna get back in? So I have this. If you're good enough at hiding stuff, you can hide stuff, and depending on where you live, you might be able to hide a spare key somewhere. Don't use those little rocks, because people know about those. All right, you got to get creative with stuff. All right, and then in here, I have my little flash drive. All right, just like I said, so all the files on my laptop are also on here. So if I'm out of the house and I need access to something, everything is backed up at least once a month. I back up everything, the books that I'm writing, the files that I have, any letters that I wrote, everything is backed up on this flash drive. So if anything happens to the laptop, whatever it is, I'm good. It's an inconvenience, it's not a major problem. All right, so I always suggest, I have another flash drive that stays at home also, with the same backup. So if something happens to this flash drive, I still have a copy of this flash drive. Okay, again, redundancy is the key to safety. Because if you have two of something and one breaks, you still have it. That's why I have multiple flashlights. And multiple knives and stuff like that. Okay, this is my multi-tool, which I have oiled to operate kind of like a butterfly knife. I don't suggest doing this because that can be dangerous, but I have training with those things. So, but as you see, the multi-tool has the pliers, has a number of different tools in there: nail file, flashlight. Not flashlight, screwdriver, and on this side, I have other tools. So I also have in this thing, right, Gorilla Glue, just because sometimes, again, stuff breaks. I've had people like that the bottom of their shoe came off, they had to reattach it to the sole. So Gorilla Glue will hold just about anything. Only problem is that it takes a little while to dry, but once it dries, it's on there for good. Again, I have work gloves in case I have to do something dirty, like change a tire or something. I'm prepared. And then this is my sewing kit. All the stuff that I named in there is in here. It's black thread with a white-eye needle in there, in the middle, with thread already wrapped around it, some buttons, and a whole bunch of safety pins. And then I also have, not toothpaste, I can't think of the name. Dental floss. Lord help me. Okay, dental floss is not only good for flossing your teeth, but it's also good. You could use this as fishing line. You could use this to tie stuff. You can do like a bunch of different stuff. It's a very resilient item. Again, able to be used for much more than just flossing your teeth. Okay, I have a lint roller, pocket travel size. All right, not very big, but it does the job. This has 30 layers on it, so it's more than enough for several uses. I have a bottle of Febreze. Again, I get caught staying somewhere unprepared. I could just Febreze, the pants and the shirt that I'm wearing if I need to, and wear it again the next day. I have a Tide pen. So if there's a stain on something, and most of the stuff that I wear is black or darkly colored, but I do wear a lot of red, blue, gray. Gray stains very easy, so with the Tide pen, that's easy to not have it stain, or to at least lighten the stain, and not completely remove it. All right. In here, I had to replace. I had a bottle of supplements similar to this. I have a bottle of supplements. This is like B complex, creatine, pumpkin seed oil, magnesium, vitamin C. It's just basic stuff you get at GNC or any health food store. But because I take them every day, if I wind up getting stuck somewhere, I have an extra one, or if I leave the house and forget it, I was prepared. All right? It's not an emergency. It's not like it's heart medication where if I don't take it, I'll die. But it's again just being prepared. Okay, I have an eyeglass screwdriver, which for those that wear glasses, those screws are tiny, and a regular screwdriver will not work. Believe me, I tried. So I have one of these in case my glasses or somebody else's glasses, that screw comes loose or out completely. And then the last thing I have here is, excuse me, is a K-Bar Sport. And for those that are not familiar with K-Bar, K-Bar is a brand that makes knives for the U.S. Marine Corps. There's a K-Bar knife, which is the infamous field knife, used for decades by the Marine Corps. So it speaks to the quality of it. But they also made a spork, which is basically just a spoon and a fork. So you can see, kind of see. Again, it's black. I'm trying to catch the light to reflect so you can see the little curve in there. Okay, but this thing is great because not only do I not have to worry about having a knife or a fork or a spoon if I go somewhere and I forget the utensils or they don't give it to me or whatever, but in the handle here it is a little knife. All right, so let's say I get something and I got to cut it, and again they didn't give me the utilities, or most of the time, my experience, this is better than the little plastic knives that they give, at Wawa or wherever you're going. Anyway, so, or sometimes somebody's like, oh, hey, I got some of this. You want some? And they give it to you. Now you don't got to worry about using an extra fork or finding one because you have it with you. All right, again, this goes right in the handle. You can just, cut whatever it is and put it back, wipe it off, clean it off. I keep mine in here because I eat with it, so I want it to be clean, so I keep it in the plastic. And that's up to you. But, okay, so that is the stuff how I have my pack laid out. Again, as you see, all these, the things that were in this little Molly pouch, the spare set of keys, the Febreze, the sewing kit, Tide pen, these are not emergency things. These things are deeper in the bag. And also, what I meant to show was that I only have half of the pack filled up. So I have this and all this stuff, which I'm not going to repack at the video and waste you guys' time. But when when I do have all that in the bag, right, the pack sits like this. So half of it is empty. All right, so even though I have all this stuff in here, all right, this is the top of the inside. This is that front flap folded in. All right, so you can see that even though it's like got all that other stuff in there, it doesn't go all the way down. So there's plenty of room to put other stuff. If you want to put a book to read aside from the Bible, if you want to put a jacket, you want to put, I mean, whatever. There's a million things you could put into your book bag, but again, I don't just fill up my bag with all this kind of stuff and not have room for other random things that I might need to take with me. A lot of times that when I'm going places that I need to dress up, I don't like to travel in my dress clothes because they'll get dirty or wrinkled on the way. So I fold them up in a specific way. Maybe I'll do a video on that at some point. I don't know, but I could just fold them up in a specific way where they don't wrinkle, and that I learned over years of experience, and then and just leave them in there. Change when I get where I'm going, and then my clothes are nice and neat. All right. So again, if you're wondering what all this has to do with the Bible does teach us to be prepared for various situations. Wisdom dictates that if we might need something, it would be good to have it. Now, I'm not saying to go and carry all the stuff that I carry. Maybe you're not a handy person, all right, you won't use electrical tape or tape measure or the other tools. Maybe you need something else, all right? Like, for example, you'll notice there is no makeup in my bag. I'm not a woman, okay? Women wear makeup, all right? Men don't. So if you're a woman, then makeup would be part of your E.D.C. Okay, but whatever it is that you need. Okay, this is what I have. The lifestyle that I live, the situations that I encounter. You take what I'm showing you and adapt it for yourself. Whatever it is that you may need. Like I have cologne. Women wear perfume. Whatever it is, maybe whatever it is that you need, because there's a million different variations. I'm not going into all that stuff, but I hope that this blessed you, gave you some ideas of stuff that you might want to start carrying with you, even if it's just like a little flashlight, how you want to have it. Also, just as part of E.D.C is what you have on your physical person. My ID and in my front right pocket is always my ID, whatever little cash I brought for the day, because I don't carry all my cash with me. That's just foolish, especially living in Brooklyn. I'm no stranger to self-defense or how to defend myself, or physical violence, but I'm a human. Somebody pulls out a gun, okay, here's what I got. I ain't Superman. So whatever cash I got for the day, I also have a notepad and a pen in my front right pocket. It's in the same place all the time. If I need it, I don't have to think. I just reach for the pocket. Okay. On my front right pocket, I always have my pocket knife and my cell phone. All right. My back right pocket is always with my keys and a rag, like a sweat rag, or to dry my hands with. And whatever, again, circumstances. And then in my back right pocket is always some tissues and stuff. All right, so these are things that just come in handy. Again, it's what's on your person and what's in your bag that you carry with you all the time. And arrange it how it's convenient for you. Maybe something that I have that deeper down you might want quicker access to. Maybe something that I have immediate access. You're like, I may not need that. I can put that further in. You adjust it how you need to, but this is just the ideas where you take the ideas and the concepts and apply it as you see fit. See, there's a difference between intelligence and wisdom. Intelligence is the ability to gather information and to understand information in the context of where that information is given. However, wisdom is the ability to acquire information and apply it in a more general basis. All right, so again, for example, electrical tape is used with electricians to cover wires to insulate it. However, to use to take a piece of tissue because you don't have access to a Band-Aid or whatever. When I worked for the knife company, there was something famously known as the Steve Band-Aid, which is a piece of paper towel with electrical tape wrapped around it, because it was just easier to do that than just get a Band-Aid. all right, because it would hold stronger. Plus, with those cuts, you bleed more. Okay, so the paper towel was more absorbent. So to use things outside of its normal context requires a bit of wisdom. And the Bible says that wisdom is the principal thing. With all you're getting, get understanding. So I hope you guys got some wisdom out of this, some understanding out of this, some ideas of things you might want to carry with you, some ways you might want to set up your bag, or if you're a woman, a purse. However, whatever it is that you derived from this video, I'm just hoping that it blessed you guys. And if this was a blessing to you, and the Lord is prompting you, if somebody wants to sow a seed into the ministry, then you could go. My Cash App is $Soldier Steve Min. But if you want to support the ministry, Cash App is good. But I'm partnering with Soldier Steve Ministries is now partnered with Lions Logos Ministry. Excuse me. Soldier Steve Ministry partnering with Lions Logos Printing, which I don't know if it's seen in the camera, is a little shaky. Right? But it's also on Facebook. It's a printing company doing custom printing stuff. And that's where Soldier Steve Ministries goes to get all the printing done. So there's several designs that, like this one I have, is the Christian flag on the front, right, and the logo on the sleeve where the flag usually goes. Have this the t-shirts, also have hoodies, right, because I don't have the actual TikTok shop set up yet, or the YouTube shop. So I'm just doing this little promo on the end of this video here. All right, and so this is my pull-up hoodie, zip-up hoodie. You could also do pullovers. Right? Have the logo here, the American flag on one sleeve, Christian flag on the back, and then the 4 principles of my ministry of discipleship. All right, studying the Word. All right, that I don't know how well that actually came out with, but again, there is merch available for sale. You can customize it around. If you want the logo big in front, the Christian flag big in front, the American flag big in front, the 4 principles of the ministry on front. Let's see. It says rightly dividing the word of truth, discipleship, spiritual warfare, and life and godliness, which is where these videos are falling into. So that merch is available. You can custom order it however you want. There's some other designs that are available through Lions Logos Printing, right? But supporting the ministry by getting some of the merch is not only supporting financially, but it's also showing other people that there is word available, wisdom available, and where to find it. All right, because then they can see that and search me up on TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, where you're seeing this video. All right, so I hope this blessed somebody again. I just pray that somebody got something good out of it that you can use. And until next time, this is Soldier Steve signing out. God bless you all in Jesus' name.